this video, I'm gonna speak to you about the importance of pushing your comfort zone through comfort challenges, all right? Because if you want to increase your level of confidence and if you want to have higher self-esteem, you need to push your comfort zone. Because with comfort zone is like with jumping into cold water. So a week ago I was in Barcelona and it's December now, so even though it's Barcelona and Spain, it was still pretty cold, okay? I was strolling along the beach with my friends and one of them had this brilliant idea that we should jump into the water. And I was thinking, come on, you must be crazy. It's December, 14 degrees. But fair enough, you know, I decided, why not? I'm gonna have a great memory. So we undressed, we jumped into the water, and as you can imagine, it was freezing cold, okay? I felt pain inside, I couldn't feel my toes. But then I went outside and I jumped again, and I jumped again, and I jumped again. And after a couple of times, I couldn't feel cold anymore. I actually felt warm, and I was looking at all these people in coats. They were looking at me thinking I was crazy, and yeah, I am a bit crazy. But I was looking at them thinking, I feel probably warmer than they do because I adjusted myself to this new temperature. So the same thing happens with your comfort zone. The more you push it, the bigger it becomes. So imagine that this is your comfort zone, okay? This one square here. Within your comfort zone, you have all these things that, you know, that make you feel comfortable. So for example, speaking to your family, speaking to your friends, performing everyday tasks. But then there are certain things that are a little bit beyond your comfort zone. For example, speaking to a waiter in a 5-star restaurant when you're in front of a beautiful lady, for example. I don't know, depends on the person, right? But it could be speaking to strangers and things like that. And then you have things that are very far from your comfort zone. They are all around, they are here, right? And these are things that really push your comfort level. These are things that require very high level of confidence. For example, speaking on the stage or approaching people you don't know, especially when they are attractive individuals of the opposite sex. You know how it feels, right? So what you gotta do is you gotta push your comfort zone because every time you do it, it extends. It becomes bigger. So in this course, I'm gonna give you a couple of different comfort challenges. And we're gonna start small. I'm gonna start with something very simple, very easy. And then we're gonna go to bigger challenges. And the last one will be actually quite difficult. It will push your comfort zone a lot, but it's gonna create a huge change. So can you acclimatize yourself to uncomfortable situations? Well, of course you can, okay? You can't do it fully, but you can do it to a certain extent. I mean, think about the history of the mankind. What some of our, fellow human beings went through. Some indescribable hardships, okay? Different wars, diseases, imprisonment, and so on. And of course, I want to keep this course very positive, so I won't delve too deep into all these horrible things. But when you think about it, people had so many difficult situations throughout their lives, and somehow they needed to adjust to these situations. Otherwise, they wouldn't survive. So when you think about it, like, how difficult can it be to adjust to slightly uncomfortable situations in your everyday life? It is doable. It is possible. You just have to put some effort. And personally, I've done many comfort challenges, and actually I learned how to love them. Because the moment you do it for the first time, you sometimes ask yourself, why am I doing it? I mean, I'm putting myself out there. I'm jumping to the deep water. Why do I have to do it? But when you do it for the first time, you realize that there are certain changes made in your mind, okay? And they are amazing. You become a better person. And the more you perform comfort challenges, the more you realize that every time you do it, you become a better person. And it's an amazing feeling when you know that right now you feel a bit uncomfortable. There are some butterflies in your stomach, but you already know that when you wake up tomorrow in the morning, you will be a better person. And by the way, comfort challenges can be fun. You don't have to do them on your own. Of course, when you perform them on your own, that's when you really push yourself. But you can get a bunch of friends and you can do it together. You can even give challenges to each other, okay? It can be a lot of fun. So for example, when I travel with my friends, I like to give them comfort challenges and vice versa. And we laugh a lot about it. We grab a drink and I say, okay, can you do this or can you do that? And of course, we don't want to cross the line, we don't do ridiculous things, but we really try to push our comfort zone. In this course, we will start small, but we will think big. And I could propel you to start big, to take on these huge comfort challenges, but I simply know that you wouldn't follow through, you wouldn't take the first step. So instead, I think that it's much better to take baby steps in order to achieve something great in long term, to achieve this massive success. And I would like to tell you my personal story. A couple of years ago, my father was a little bit overweight, and I really wanted him to change his life, to start training on the gym. But he always gave me these excuses. You know what, I gotta work too hard, I don't have time, blah, 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 blah. Excuses are just excuses, right? So I decided that, and I realized that I can't propel him to take this massive action because he will always find an excuse. So instead, I wrote a very simple diet for him, effective but simple, with 1 day off, meaning that on that day he would eat anything he wanted to, okay? He could eat pasta, pizza, chocolate, whatever he desired to. Now, I also wrote a training plan for him on the gym. And guess what? My father started training, and after a couple of weeks, when he saw some tremendous results, he actually came to me to ask me for more advice. He said, you know what, I want to learn a bit more. I want to train harder. I don't want that 1 day off anymore. Now think about it. Would he ever follow through if I have given him this huge, comprehensive training plan? No, it would be too tough. The step would be too big to even start. So the same thing applies to this course. If you perform comfort challenges, at one point everything will merge into comprehensible patterns, all right? Because as I mentioned, the first comfort challenge will be very simple. The second one will be more uncomfortable. Well, the last one will really, really push your comfort zone. But you will realize that when you are performing them, you are actually applying many concepts and techniques from this course. And they will become your second nature. And that's really amazing. You will internalize many of these concepts and you will learn some of the new things about social dynamics. So really, please perform these exercises. It's an inextricable part of this course. You can't simply go through this course, learn about the theory, do a bunch of theoretical exercises or mindset exercises, and hope that suddenly you will become extremely confident. Of course, you will increase your level of confidence and self-esteem. That's inevitable. But at the same time, if you really want to master this area of your life, you have to go out there. You have to push yourself. The good news is, though, you don't have to do it like this. You don't have to do it rapidly. You don't need to jump into the deep water straight away. I'm going to hold your hand and take you there step by step.